In this video, I'm going to show you how to do a quick search and some of the features in searching in the LACDB Pro system. So first I'll start with selecting an area. A couple different ways I can zoom in onto an area and continue to zoom in until I get down to the ground level. I can search by a city. I can type in under location. I can type in East Baton Rouge Parish, and that will go in and zoom me into the East Baton Rouge Parish, and it'll show you the boundaries of the parish and all the buildings that are available in that parish. And any search I do going forward will only return results that are inside that parish. I can remove that parish boundary at any time, and that will clear it, and then it will keep me at the same zoom level but drilled into that area. Again, I can just use my scroll and scroll in. I can move the map around. If I'm looking for property for lease, I can choose for lease. It will then reload the map with every building that has space available in it. If I want for lease and for sale, I can check for sale as well, and it'll give me all the buildings that are for lease or for sale. I can choose an asset class, which matches the color scheme on the map. So if I wanted just retail for lease, I can do that, and it will just pull up retail for lease. And again, it's going to give me a count, which will be how many properties there are and how many spaces there are in those properties. So if I turn off for sale, it'll limit it to only property buildings with space available for lease. If I switch back to just for sale, it'll show me how many buildings are in there that just have for lease. Some people will say, well, the numbers don't match. That's because condominiums have multiple spaces in a building. So if there's a condominium project, it can have multiple spaces as well. So I'm going to go back here just for lease. And again, I can select different categories. If I wanted a retail building with office space, let's see if we have any. So this retail building right here has some office space available in it. So it's primarily a retail building with office space. So if you're looking for maybe a dental location, you can search retail building, and you want to be in a retail building, you can search retail office. So again, the subcategories mark down the other categories. And then again, I can go in and select any of these other ones. I can also draw a shape, which will allow me to draw a shape on the map. If you're using your phone, you would do the same thing, but using your finger. I can apply that shape. That will give me the results only inside that shape. I can go on and continue to add more search criteria. If I'm looking for a certain size, a certain piece of information, I only wanted existing buildings, I didn't want to see anything that was under construction, I could check that. I could search by building two square footages here. There's building square foot, which is the entire building size, and the available square foot, which is what is available for lease. So if I'm looking for 1,500 or 2,500 for my client, it will only show me the results that match. So as you can see here, I've narrowed this down, and there are 7 buildings with 7 spaces that match my criteria. I can go up here and see it in a list view, which will pull up all those spaces, and I can drill into any one of them to see the buildings, to see the suites that are available, the history, the tenants that are in there as well. And I can hit the back button, which will take me back to the list, or I can do it from the map view. I can pull all of these into this view and look at them in a thumbnail view just by clicking on them. If I have a small enough set, I just want to save them to a list because I want to get a list printed out for my client, I can go in and save all the results to a list. I'm going to create a new list. I'm going to call this one Sherwood Retail. and I'm going to save that. So now you'll notice that all these are, let me close this here, so all these that I have selected are checked. If I wanted to change search criteria, uncheck that, so maybe I'd get stuff that's under construction as well. I could select that. I could bring this one in, or proposed, or whatever categories I want. I could continue to change my criteria, and it will show me the ones I don't have in my list will have the dot there. I can change my square footage size. Maybe I'm willing to go up to 3,500. And now I have another space, and instead of having to go, I could go File, Save All, and it will save these two, but if I only want to add the one, I can just check the plus sign. Down here at the bottom it will say it was added to my Sherwood retail list, and I could then again click on this one, say, yeah, let's add that one in, and add it to my list. So now you've noticed I've kept saying my list, because what we're doing is we're putting all these properties into a list. So from here, I can go to my list, and it will pull up all those properties I have selected. I can now go in and remove properties I don't want. And this way I will only have the ones in the list that I want to show the client. I can reorder these properties to put them in the order that I want to generate the report in, or the tour order, the way that we're going to go look at them. So I can drag them into whatever order I want, top to bottom, left to right. So this will be number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, number 7 here. Done reordering. Now they're permanently in that order. From here, I can go in and generate a report for my client. I can generate a one-liner. I'll do a summary, listing brochure, and I'm going to do an aerial map because they were close together. I can choose to include a broker, the broker information, listing broker information on it or not. So I'm going to exclude that for right now. I'm going to generate the report. Many times I'll generate one for myself with the broker information and one for the client without the broker information. I have two choices. If I wanted to email this to my client, I could click copy link, open my email program, and write an email to my client and embed that link into it, just paste it into there. Or I can just view the PDF. And once the PDF loads, I have the option I could either save it, print it, or I could download it and email it to my client as a PDF, or send that link like we talked about. And then you'll be able to scroll through the different reports. You'll notice that there's a custom header on here for LACDB. That's their office company header. Any admin can send us in their artwork, and we can create a custom header so that all your marketing materials match. If the broker has provided additional photos, the first 12 photos will print out in the report. If you've uploaded more than 12 photos, you want to make sure that your 12 best photos are loaded into the report. You also want to make sure that they're going in the right direction so that they print out properly. And then you'll see the map. So this is the street map, and then this is the aerial map. And again, all these numbers correspond with the numbers on the way that we set them up for the tour order. Okay, my next option for reports is Google Earth. This will create a Google Earth file that you can share with your client. Again, same thing, copy and paste, or open it up. If they come to your office to meet at the office and you want to preview these properties, you can open them up in Google Earth, and you can basically walk the tour through Google Earth and eliminate any properties they may not be interested in. It'll pull in the property location, again, in that tour order that we set up. If you click on it, it'll pull up the photo of the property and the number, which corresponds to all the printout material. Parcel boundaries. Again, you can see this parcel here is on, this property is on 2 parcels, and the researchers have connected both parcels. You can also go down to the street level and look at it in the street level. and zoom around and let the client, again, if you email to the client, they can preview all these and let you know if they do want to see them or they don't. So that's the Google Earth option. The next option for report is an Excel report. This is one of the most common generated reports out of the system. It allows you to create an easy to use Excel file with limited information on it. We format the photos in there. Your photo would show up here if it was loaded. And it's just a quick, clean, down and dirty file to send to the client, and it has all the base information. Again, if you didn't want to send somebody something, you can remove the fields by just deleting them because it is in Excel. And if you didn't want to have the other broker's contact information on there, you could remove that as well. This is used many times for listing updates. So if you want to do a monthly update to your landlord of the property you have listed, and you want to show them here's the competition, go in, do the search, save these to a list, generate this from the list, email it to the client. So it's a pretty structured way to communicate with the client. Close this. So again, we had the PDF, the Google Earth, and the Excel. The other thing that we have for reporting is, let's say your client is interested in one of these properties and they wanted more information about it. You have report options available at the property. So this tile, there's always the report button on the tile. This is different than the report to generate the tour. So for this report that's attached to the tile, you get all the one-click reports for that property. So if I wanted to do a retail logo map, I could select that and this would generate a retail logo map. Again, I could email it or print it out. This will brand it and it'll show you all the retail businesses that are near that property. You could choose individual reports or you can create a bundle report. So by going in here, you could do a map, aerial. If you want to do a contour, you could. You want to do a demographic report, you could. Let's just do that. We'll do the retail logos, traffic counts, and EPA map. Let's generate that report. And this will bundle it all together. You could drag these in whatever order you wanted to print them out in. I just did it in the natural order that they showed on the list. And this will go out, and it's calculating all the drive times and everything else. And this will bundle it. So here's your call out map so they can get an idea of where it's at. Parcel map, 3-minute, 5-minute, 10-minute drive times. Logo map, traffic counts. EPA facility report. From this report, it'll pull up the 30 closest properties that the EPA is monitoring. And you can right-click on this link here, open a new window, or just click on it. And the EPA site is down right now, but you could just open that link and it will pull up the EPA site, see what they're doing with the property, what they've monitored, what they've approved, anything that has to do with EPA in that location, or not just that location, but the tenant in that building as well. Because you'll see here, these are tenant names. And so that's all available from any property. The other thing that's real important to know is if you go back to your search, you don't have to have a property selected in a list to generate those reports. You can zoom into any property. Let's find one here. And if you go to details here, you'll see in the overview section, there's the property characteristics. And if you zoom in, it will zoom you down to that property. And then there's a report option here as well, which will give you that list. And then another one here, just so that the links are readily available for you. And again, whether it's listed or not, you can go in and pull that report or the set of reports that you want. So we covered searching, putting properties into a list to create a tour or create a comp list, and from there you can generate the reports. Thank you very much.